embracing your passion. As with podcast number 10 on lucid dreaming, this podcast will be done by my wife, Erin. And she'll be talking about how to awaken to your passion, to your real purpose in life, even when you're probably living a life that's more focused on security than on passion. And she'll be telling you her personal story of how she made that transition from focusing on what she calls following the American dream or the American path, where she's focused on security and getting a job and having a family and raising children, but not really doing anything that inspired her, that really made her passionate. And then tapping back into what she remembered from her childhood that she was most passionate about and bringing that into her adult life and finally coming to terms with it, finally coming to embrace it. And she has a path that is very unusual in that it has a lot to do with her spiritual and psychic development. And this is something that she has had to come to terms with and to embrace as an adult. So without further ado, here's my wife Erin to talk about embracing your passion.
Do you wake up every morning eager to start your day? Do you bound out of bed before sunrise so you can maximize your awake time? Do you disdain going to bed at night because it means you're forced to take a break from your life until morning? Is your waking life so fulfilling that you go through your day smiling, clapping your hands, voice filled with glee, as you say, "Okay, life, what's next?" My guess is that most of you answered no to all of these questions. A short while ago, I would have too. But that's all changed for me. I want to share with you the story of how I began living my life on purpose and how you can too. As a young child, I was very interested in the paranormal. ESP, astral projection, ghosts, spirits, Ouija boards, you name it, I was interested. Deceased relatives used to come to me in my dreams and give me important information that turned out to be true. I started seeing fairies and other strange creatures in and around our home at night. My nights were filled with demonic battles and astral travel. People in my high school referred to me as the witch, and some people even seemed a little scared of me. Secretly, though, people used to come to me for psychic advice and spiritual wisdom, and sometimes to get a tarot card reading. I had a few friends who were open to paranormal experiences, and we spent a lot of time exploring the boundaries of what we could do. This had the effect of opening us up to some negative energy as well as the positive. In fact, things got to be too heavy after a while, and for our own psychic health, we scaled back our efforts to find out what was out there. In college, I decided it was time to buckle down and get serious about my life. So I really turned down the volume on my psychic abilities and got busy getting a degree in psychology. I could never turn it off completely, but I stopped exploring, and my cravings for paranormal experiences slowly dissipated. I got my degree and entered graduate school to get a master's degree in human factors engineering, with a career goal of working in the space program. For the first time in my life, I was finally normal. My focus was now on finding a job, moving out of my parents' house, finding a husband, having children, and settling down. I did what most Americans do. I shut the door on my passion and started looking for security. When I was 24, I received an offer of a partial scholarship to attend a PhD program in Texas that would put me in a unique position to get a human factors job with NASA. At the same time I was thinking about this offer, I met a young man named Steve. Our first date turned out to be a 3-hour-long discussion of lucid dreaming. His inquisitive nature drew me in like a moth to a flame. Here was a seeker like I used to be. He started igniting my passion again, and I was scared. I had made a firm decision not to go down that road again. I stood at the fork in my road and wondered what to do. Down one path was a PhD, my dream job with NASA, and financial security. Down the other was love with a man who inspired me, who stirred my soul, who ignited my passion, and who made me think of life in totally new ways. And if you've been reading Steve's site, then you know what I mean. I chose Steve and said goodbye to the PhD program forever. My dream job with NASA went down in flames. Steve was really into personal growth and had this habit of pushing me to improve myself. It really annoyed me. But every time I took a step forward in my own growth, I felt empowered and alive. I felt conscious. I could feel myself moving closer and closer to my true spiritual path, my reason for existing. I fought him every step of the way because the logical part of my mind said, no, get security, make money, think about yourself and the needs of your family. I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. I almost chose security over passion. I almost chose the American dream over my life's purpose. I almost forgot where I came from and why I was here. In January of this year, I made a decision. I decided it was time to be who I truly was. I decided it was time to reopen the door on my passion. I decided that if people thought I was weird, strange, or abnormal, then so what? I had to be who I truly was. I had to steer my life back towards my life's purpose. Making the decision to fully embrace my life's purpose had the effect of actually bringing it towards me rapidly. My purpose in life is to help people remember where we came from, to help people realize that we are all connected and that we are in truth all one. What we do to another, we are really doing to ourselves. People have lost their connection with the divine, with their true nature, and I really want to wake people up to their true nature. In so doing, I believe we will bring our planet to a state of peace, love, harmony, and compassion. So what happened to my day job? As I began focusing on my mission, other things in my life got shoved to the back burner. I released a new cookbook last November, but I've stopped putting energy into marketing it. Sales continue to increase despite my lack of focus on the book. I turned my other business, Veg Family Magazine, over to my managing editor. She's doing a great job of keeping the magazine going, and it's actually doing better than ever. I also have a web development business, which I love, but I've stopped seeking new clients. When I need a new client, the universe brings it to me. I freed up my time and my energy to focus fully on my spiritual mission, and as it turns out, I didn't lose any of the security I'd gained. Interesting, isn't it? My psychic abilities increased massively once I tuned back into them. I made a deal with the spirits not to be afraid of anything they wanted to bring me. As a result, I ended up being asked by the Chris Angel Mind Freak show to appear in one of their upcoming episodes as a psychic medium. For more information on that appearance, see my blog entry on that subject. I started being able to detect the energies of people who have passed, so I've been passing along messages to friends, family, and even total strangers. I've begun channeling messages from celestial beings who are helping me understand how to wake people up so that they too can remember where they came from. I frequently speak with my spirit guides and higher self, receiving messages about what to do next to fulfill my mission. And it's easy. Their messages are so clear and so accurate that all I have to do is ask and the answers come. Today, I get out of bed early, anytime between 4:30 and 6 a.m. I journal about the dreams I've had, and I check my spiritual email for the day, getting messages from my spirit guides about what I need to do. I blog, I write, I do podcasts. And I've recently started doing readings for people, sort of as a spiritual soul coach. I've met many new people who are helping me on this path. They seem to just magically come into my life when I needed them. I've even joined Toastmasters at the prompting of Steve and the spirits because I know in the near future I'll be doing workshops and seminars. My path is laid out before me and it's not obscured by trees. It's a straight shot to the goal and I've got the puck. So how do you change your life so that you can greet each day eagerly and with excitement because you know you're on your true path? First, you've got to find your passion. Ask yourself this question. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Let yourself dream. Get in touch with the spirit inside you who knows exactly what you would do if you knew you couldn't fail. Once you have an answer, start walking down that path. You don't have to quit your job, divorce your spouse, or sell the kids. Just do something that puts you one step closer to that path. If you want to be a writer, write something, anything. If you want to be a firefighter, go online and find out what you'd have to do. Don't let your ego step in and say, "This is crazy. What do you think you're doing? Are you really going to give up your job as a stockbroker to become a firefighter?" Squash the ego and listen to your spirit. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about how you're going to make this big life transition. Just open your life to it. Write down your desire. That's a good first step. Next, just daydream about what your life would be like if you were already fully on your path. Tell the universe that you're ready to make this change, and then watch what happens. Look for opportunities or synchronicities. Follow your gut. Let your intuition lead you to the experiences you need to have. Maybe you'll meet new people who just happen to be interested in what you're interested in. Maybe you own a company that you don't feel like running anymore, and a buyer just happens to present themselves. Here's the secret you need to know. The universe will give you what you ask for. If you tell the universe you want to move in a new direction and you'd like help, then you'll get it. But you have to watch for the signs. If you're led to the water, please drink. You've probably heard this story before, but it bears repeating. This man was sitting on his roof because the dam broke and the city was flooding. He called out to God to save him. Just then a boat came by with rescue workers who threw him a rope. He yelled to them, "No thanks, God will save me, I'm fine." The rescue workers moved on to the next house. The water continued to rise. Next, a helicopter came along and dropped a ladder down towards the man. He waved it away and said, "No thanks, I'm fine, God will rescue me." The helicopter moved on too. When the water reached the level of the man's roof, he drowned. In heaven, he met with God and said, "Didn't you hear me praying to you to save me? Why didn't you rescue me?" And God said, "I sent you a boat and a helicopter. Why didn't you accept their help?" If you ask the universe for help, then you have to be open to receiving that help in whatever form it comes in. If something comes along to help you on your path, seize it. I remember when I decided I wanted to be a writer. All of a sudden I got mail from community colleges offering writing courses, but I took notice, and I took a couple of classes. What I learned in those classes is still with me today. More recently, I decided I wanted to be around people who vibrated at a higher frequency. Now my life is filled with them. It didn't take long for them to manifest into my life, but if I never told the universe what I wanted, I never would have noticed these people. Once you are on your true spiritual path, you will feel amazing. You'll bound out of bed with excitement each morning. You'll feel annoyed that you have to go to sleep when you just want to keep on doing what you're doing. You'll find other people in your life who will help you achieve your dream. You'll be living your life on purpose, and you'll be happier than you've ever been. Until next time, everyone, dream your life and then live your dream.